Yo, yo, yo. What's our how are we starting this thing?
FlyGeek Radio.
Hey guys, welcome to FlyGeek Radio.
I'm Charles Francis and
Matt Adams.
And
today we're gonna be talking about Motorola's newest flagship, the Motorola X Style. Also known as the Motorola X2.
And
this is why we need a video record this. So we can show you doing stupid stuff. This is exactly why we need to record this.
All
right, so the Motorola X Style.
Yeah. Talk to me. What do you know? I haven't too much followed this style lifestyle. So talk to me about this Moto X lifestyle.
All right, so
I don't know much about the Pure and that's just because why am I wasting my time thinking about that when I know that I'm not gonna get it? I'm just joking, guys. I follow everything technology.
I mean, well, you've had a Motorola device for a while. You had a Nexus 6. I mean, you currently still rock it. Like
it's just
meh. It's not like it ain't the Izzle. All right.
You talk to me. Tell me what you like.
So, all right. So, really quick for our listeners, the Motorola X Style, just a real fast rundown on that thing. We've got a 5.7-inch display of pure real estate. It's rocking a 1440 by 2560 pixel resolution. Got like a pixel density of 5.15. As far as the main features of this device, that Qualcomm 808 6-core processor, which sounds amazing. We've got 3 gigs of RAM, built-in 64 gigabyte storage, which are basically flagship specs. Thing that Motorola's always kind of struggled with, which we'll find out as far as quality is concerned later, is their camera. It has the ability to shoot 4K, 30 frames per second. And as far as camera is concerned, 21 megapixel dual LED flash. It's got a front-facing 5 megapixel camera with a front-facing speakers. Here's my thing. I think that the device itself is probably the best device that Motorola is going to come out with in a while. I think that I've always felt like Motorola has been on a bit of a high rise, and you know that. Like, ever since the first generation Moto X, like, they've been just, like, grinding. Like, they were about to be a dead company, like BlackBerry. But these boys are still there, and to me, they're probably the second best Android manufacturers as far as manufacturing goes to date, in my opinion.
Say that one more time.
I think they're the second best right now. Like, I give Samsung its props. Like, Samsung is number 1. They've got the best Android phone currently out. HTC is where it's at, to be honest. But for me right now, I think Motorola has an edge over HTC in my book.
Based on software.
As far as
the full package
currently to date. Okay. Like, not looking at HTC's track record, because HTC's been in the grind since like the Evo 4G. HTC's been like kicking butt. Even before that, like when Android wasn't out, I used to have the Mogul. That was like my first smartphone. Like, so I've been on HTC and I've messed with them for a long time. But for me, to be honest, Motorola currently, as far as Android is concerned, in 2015, and my list, it's Samsung, Motorola, HTC, and then from there on out. Like, I don't see any. I mean, and LG's in there. They're doing their thing. Hawaii, high five.
This is a social network. I think I can agree with you. As long as you keep Samsung as number 1, I really don't care who number 2, 3, 4, or 5 is.
This guy.
As far as all right, let's tell the people about our mutual friend. We're just gonna call this guy John. Our mutual friend said something to you about Motorola and the Moto X. Let's share that story.
So I'm talking to my homeboy about like the newer phones that's coming out. So we were discussing the biggest two head-to-head phones right now currently, the OnePlus 2 and the Motorola X Style. And this was his statement.
And what did John say?
This is what John said. John was like, yo, I am highly considering purchasing the OnePlus 2. And I was like, hey, man, have you checked out the Motorola X? And he said, I wouldn't even buy that phone as a backup. Those were his words. I would not buy that phone even as a backup. And then we had a lengthy discussion of going back and forth for like the reasons why he wouldn't buy it and the reasons why I thought that statement was the most ignorant.
Not even as a backup.
Not even as a backup. That's disrespectful.
That's very disrespectful.
That's extremely disrespectful.
That is very
dog.
disrespectful.
That's like going to like Disney World and just like straight up like, bruh, I hate Mickey Mouse. Like it's disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful, dude. Saying that you would never use the Moto X Pure or Style as a backup phone. Super disrespectful in the regards to, you just said that you would purchase, you're highly considering purchasing a OnePlus 2. I believe when we had this discussion, one of his main selling points was the camera not being all so great. I am gonna go on a limb here and say, if you gave me the option, let me first state this. If you gave me the option, I'm definitely buying the Moto X anything over a OnePlus anything. That's just me. I know you, Matt, love the
I want to come back to
OnePlus, but
yeah,
I would buy the Moto anything over the OnePlus anything, and I have just specific reasons. Like, I love a lot of things about the OnePlus. I hate their invite system. I hate how they go about getting you your device. I just hate a lot of things about OnePlus in general, but I love a lot of things about OnePlus. I remember I messed around with your OnePlus 1 for a few when you first got it. But especially the OnePlus 2 that came out, I feel like they omitted so many features that is a norm now for flagships, that if they want to be considered in the flagship world, that it's like a no-brainer. You know what I mean? So there are a few reasons why I would definitely buy a Moto X or a Moto, whatever the new one is, over the OnePlus 2. But going back to the whole being very disrespectful about the camera thing, about the phone in general as a backup phone, John, I'm speaking directly to you, John, and anybody who thinks like John, don't be disrespectful, okay? I agree that the camera is not all that, and I agree that Motorola over the years hasn't actually stepped up their game enough to compete in the camera world. I agree. And John is a photographer, people, so maybe that's where John is coming from with his whole I wouldn't use it as a backup phone, but come on, you own a DSLR. I think saying it that way is like you use your phone as a main camera. Don't be disrespectful, John. Motorola has earned the right to at least be used as a backup phone. At least. They've earned their right to at least be used as a backup phone.
At minimum.
At minimum.
Give them that much.
Give them that much. Honestly, you're choosing OnePlus over.
Well, all right.
And speaking of camera, now you tell me, how has the OnePlus camera been?
The OnePlus, I'm not a big photography guy. There are people that I look towards for their photography opinions, and I base my opinions off of their opinions if I highly respect them. But to be honest, from what I'm expecting from a camera, I feel like the OnePlus 1 gives me what I'd like from a smartphone camera.
Okay.
Like, I don't take a whole lot of pictures. I'm not like the person that's like at Fridays with his friends, just like snapping selfies all the time. Like, that's not me.
Has to take a picture of their food before they eat.
Nah.
Good.
Nah.
That's more like a chick thing, but
okay. That's good to know. Thank you for validating my gender for me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I have a guy cousin. We'll also call him John.
All these.
Everybody that we talk about is going to be called John. I know a thing or two about being sued, so we're gonna call everybody John. I have a guy cousin named John who takes a picture of his food before he eats it. And
yo, what happens if we have somebody that's actually named John? What we gonna call him?
It's the real John. the real
OG John.
At the real John. This is actually the real John.
All right, so he takes pictures of his food.
Yeah,
and then maybe he'll want a 1+2. I think the 1+2 camera is gonna be amazing. I feel like OnePlus kind of like opened up the gate already. Well, I mean, just to go back really quick before we even like dive into like the 1+2 or the 3 or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, because I got some points on that too. Go ahead.
Like, so you were talking about specs that flagship phones should have that device is currently missing.
Right.
Just off of a whim, like the biggest one would be NFC. As well as fast charging, wireless charging, those type of things. Like, it kind of lacks in those areas. Granted, it does have optical image stabilization, which the Motorola X doesn't have. They have like digital image stabilization, which is...
That's interesting.
Yeah, which it bites since Motorola is trying to step up like their camera game with, you know, all those pixels, that they wouldn't have optical image stabilization in their phone. Come on, Motorola.
Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing with your life? But they do have somewhat of a track record, OnePlus, for like good cameras. They are like the new kid on the block that's kind of like running stuff in a sense. Like, they've went from like not being a phone, and I still go places and people say, hey, what phone is that? And I say OnePlus, and they look at me like I just told them that I was wearing a pair of like Shacks. Like,
what are those? Like, what are those?
And then it's disrespectful because a lot of people look at me as a tech guy.
Right.
Like, they're like, okay, this is Matt, he's a techie. Like, this is a really cool looking phone. Right. Like, what device is this? Is that a Samsung? And I'm like, no, it's the OnePlus. And then they give me that look like, like I just went down reputation wise as far as like anything that I'd advise them tech wise. Like, they'd be like, nah, I don't trust this.
What is this guy using?
OnePlus. What is that? Sounds stupid. But
what are those?
But they kind of like came out the bat with having at least like and it's not like in comparison to like the world's best cameras. Like, right now, I think the Samsung Galaxy S6 is dubbed as the best smartphone camera, period. So it's not like
known to mankind.
It's not a S6 camera, but it's a really good camera, especially for the price point that you're getting. And it already came out like with 4K, and you're only paying like little to nothing, like 3 something. How much was it?
What's the OnePlus 2?
Yeah, no, the OnePlus 1. The OnePlus 2 is more expensive.
I have no idea. Oh, is it?
They went up in price.
Like $400.
The OnePlus 2?
Yeah.
I didn't pay 4 for the OnePlus 1.
No. Oh, no. You paid 3 for the OnePlus 1.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 4 for the OnePlus 2.
Yeah, I think it's like $399 or $360 something.
Oh, when you said that, you got me scared like it was a Nexus 5 to Nexus 6 type jump. Because Nexus 5 was like $350. Nexus 6 done jump to the Samsung Galaxy. I'm like, okay. And see, this is what the Nexus 6 was Motorola, right?
The Nexus 6?
Yeah.
6? Not. Yeah, that's Motorola.
That's Motorola. Okay. So see, my thing is, those kind of things are where I was like, all right, Motorola, you're a little drunk sometimes. A little bit drunk.
You are.
You go from the Nexus line always being a budget conscious phone to a flagship price.
Yeah.
And then I own both the Note 4 and the Nexus 6, and I just don't feel like it gives me flagship
specs. What?
Well, I don't know about specs, but I don't feel like it competes flagship wise to that price point. I mean, you would be a more winning device had you have been $200, $300 less. Maybe $200 less. I mean, I don't want to completely rip off the company.
Yeah.
You know, it has a nice screen. It has front-facing speakers. But there are times where my Nexus 6 does things that has never happened on my Note 4. Like, for instance, the screen splitting in half and half of it being frozen and half of it not. That happens way more than I would like it to. I would like it to not happen at all, but it happens at least once or twice as I'm using it. And I use that phone twice a week. And so it's terrible that it happens almost every time I use it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I
wonder if other people are having that issue.
Yeah, I never really researched it as it was a backup phone.
Dang. So you're like John now, huh? Well, John wouldn't even use that.
John's disrespectful. Yeah. I at least give it the
give
minimum.
Backup phone
I give it backup phone title. You know, it's a good backup phone.
Yo.
Something that I use for social.
For the record, guys, I have no backup phone. Actually, the first
you do have Motorola.
The first gen Motorola X is my backup phone.
So Motorola, if you're hearing this, you need to make a better device because everybody is using your devices. You need to listen. Forget going after flagships. You need to become primary and then go after flagships. That's going to be their
new slogan. Yeah. Motorola, your new primary.
Yes, your new. Exactly. That is perfect. Motorola striving to be primary. That's going to be the new thing.
Bruh. All right.
Terrible, bro.
All right. So them boys lack NFC.
Yeah, NFC, wireless charging, which I've been using like crazy.
Going back to for our listeners that don't know, going back to the things that you said you don't like about the OnePlus. Mm-hmm. One of them was their invite system.
Yeah.
Bro, I literally, like, when we were about to purchase it, you were going to purchase the OnePlus. And you completely said, forget this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not buying this anymore. I think bro, what was the story?
I ordered it twice. The first one didn't go through. The second one got canceled. And no, I'm sorry. I ordered it 3 times. The first one didn't go through. The second one, it was like it on the site it went through, but PayPal it didn't. And by the way, guys, I hate PayPal. Absolutely hate PayPal, but that's a different story. I'll give you guys that another time. But the second one didn't go through because on PayPal it didn't go through, but on the site it did. Yeah. And then the third time, I actually was going. They actually wrote me back. Customer service wrote me back and said, "Hey, we are experiencing issues. We're having an issue. Blah blah. If you can, try to place your order, and I'll follow up with the system." So I was gonna place the order again, and I was like, you know what? Why do I have to try so hard to give you my money?
Yeah.
And I wanna call myself a consumer on crack. I'm definitely a tech head. And a person that's going after this. Imagine a regular person. I was a person that didn't need the phone.
Yeah.
I have like 5 phones. Yeah. So I don't need the phone. But I wanted the phone. And as a person that really wants your device, it shouldn't be hard for me to give you my money.
Yeah.
I feel like a company based in China, they should have these things, spit these things out. It's like $3 to make this phone. I don't know how much it is to make the phone, but I know it's a little bit of money to make the phone. And you're based in China. You're not shipping it from China to America. You're in China making the phones. Take my money, make me my phone, and send it to me. It shouldn't be that difficult. So, until OnePlus gets their ish together, I will go ahead and give everybody else my money. Simple as that. Even my backup phone. I walked into the store with Matt, and we both got that backup phone, that Nexus 6. And I paid for that. I gave them, did I give them cash? No, I gave them all the money, paid it in full, and bought that phone, and it still sits there as a backup phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I absolutely hate that. I hate that about it. And it's not like the phone is made of gold and it can go cook me breakfast. That I would try harder for a phone like that, but you're just a phone. Like you're a good phone for the price point.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. You're not God's personal cell phone. Like, I'm not going to try that hard. I shouldn't have to try that hard. And if I'm a person that was trying that hard, imagine a consumer.
Yeah.
One time, and then they're going to the store.
For real. I mean, dude, there's been times when like I ordered the these headphones off of Amazon, and I was legit about to. I mean, it's 2-day shipping, and I knew it was gonna take 2 days, but then I ended up calling like Sam Ash or Guitar Center just to see if they had it there, so I could purchase it like right then and there. Yeah, like I can understand that, and I'm not like I don't consider myself a regular consumer. Like consumer, I'm probably a little bit more than crack, but but yeah, yo, like, so, I mean, and that's something that's, I mean, I don't bash them for that, though, because I know that a lot of companies, especially startups, like, you see stuff like that happen on Kickstarter all the time. And even with big companies, like, even Rockstar, like, they don't, for some reason, they feel like their product isn't as popular as it really is. I don't know if that's what it is, or they just slack on putting in enough funds to make sure that their servers and everything can handle the amount of traffic. So I don't fault, not that I don't fault them. I fault them, like, come on, bro. But in the same respect, I can understand. I can sympathize with the fact. But it doesn't defeat the fact that, yo, like, a regular person that maybe just heard about the OnePlus, that isn't like a phone junkie. And I feel like maybe I'd like to see the percentages, but I want to say on a whim, maybe 70% of OnePlus One owners are smartphone geeks. Those are people that like research and know about phones and probably be able to tell you exactly what model of Snapdragon is currently in every device that they've ever had.
I'd agree with that.
But
definitely agree with that.
Yeah, coming from like maybe like envisioning a regular consumer's point of view, yo, they'd be like, yo, like this is ridiculous. And that same exact system is going into place for the OnePlus 2. So I'm hoping it'll be nice to see. Like, it's gonna be funny. Like, once release date, they're scheduled to actually release on the 11th, which is a couple of days from now. Today's we're recording this on the 9th. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, yo. Like, if they're gonna have problems. And trust me, we will all know. Like, all you have to do is go to twitter.com/OnePlus. Because these guys blew up Twitter. Like, customers blew up Twitter with like, yo, what the heck is going on? Like, it took me a lot of tries just to get my OnePlus One. Which is fine. And they don't have, I mean, their customer service is getting a little bit better. I've definitely gotten back to if we're on this topic. So I've experienced both OnePlus and Motorola's customer service. Okay. I must say that Motorola's customer service is the best smartphone customer service that I've ever experienced. Literally, ever experienced. Like, it didn't take a lot of time for them to answer the phone. Like, I had a problem with my Motorola 360. Like, for some reason, it, like, tilt to wake was not working at all. And it was easy for me to like explain the problem, explain what I did to try to fix the solution. Like, I told them like, yo, I deleted the app off of my phone. I did a complete reset from my smartwatch, and that didn't fix the problem. And they were like, okay, send it back. And it was that simple. Instant. I remember with OnePlus, I explained, and I mean, these guys don't know, but I've been rooting, jailbreaking, unlocking, doing all that stuff to like phones since like, I don't know, for at least
a wee little lad.
For real. Like, since the mogul. Mogul, I've been doing stuff to phones. And I explained to them, yo, like, I had it rooted. I put your Oxygen OS on there. I took it off. I went back to like stock Cyanogen, and this thing is not responding as far as touch is concerned. And I swear I was back and forth with those guys for at least maybe 2 to 3 weeks just to get them to send me back a device. Had them remote like log into my laptop to try to fix my device, and still didn't fix it. And that took at least 2 weeks for them to do. Like, it was just ridiculous. So if you're looking for like a phone that's gonna, at least customer service that's gonna be good. Yeah. Like, and no headaches, like, as far as like having to deal with the company itself, I definitely go Motorola.
Out of those two.
Striving to be your primary currently.
Yeah, out of those two, go with Motorola for sure. Which you're probably going to have to anyway, because you probably can't buy the phone anyway. So you're probably gonna have to go
can't even
Motorola.
buy the OnePlus 2 anyway.
So you probably won't have to deal with their customer
Let the
service.
11 come around. You ain't getting that thing too.
However, if you are unlucky enough to be able to use their customer service, just know that you may experience that type of situation. Or you could just get yourself a Samsung and never have to call customer service.
Drugs.
You know why? I've never had to call them.
Do you feel like your phone is like...
I don't even know their name. I mean their number. I don't know their number. 1-800-SAMSUNG? I don't know. I don't know how to get to them because I never need to call it. I never write them on Twitter. I never ask them a question. I've never had a problem. And the time that I did have a problem, because I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you guys, the time that I ever do have a problem, it's little things like if the phone had ever slowed down for any reason. I know recently I wasn't satisfied with the speed of the phone, and it's been lately. I've had the phone for maybe 2 years now, and lately I haven't been happy. So what I did was, like any power user, I backed up everything that I cared about on the device and reset it, and it's running speedy again, and everything is on point. Again, I consider myself a higher consumer than most consumers. So most consumers won't reset the phone. They'll just argue about the fact the phone is slow and maybe just go try to buy another one. Yeah. See, we're power users, so we won't resort to those things. We know what the phone is capable of. We know the specs. We know what it's running. And majority of the time, it's over time you add more apps, you add more things to your home screen, you slow the phone down yourself. Yeah. It's user error, not device error. Yeah. And that's proven because after I reset it, that thing is crazy fast. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that type of situation, but we know how to fix those issues, have them arise. You know, if they ever arise, we know how to fix those issues. So, but yeah, man, I mean, I've never had to call Samsung customer support. I don't even know if Samsung has customer support. Sure. Like I doubt they even need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like and see, this is the difference between Samsung and someone like OnePlus. Because if they ever had a problem with their device, their Samsung device, they're not calling Samsung. They're bringing it back to Verizon, AT&T, and they're complaining to those people about the phone. True. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I mean, moral of the story: get yourself a Samsung, baby. You know, if you're parents, you have kids, make sure that's the S6 and take beautiful 4K and images of your kids. If you're a guy, you have a beautiful wife. Use the S6's amazing camera. Take 4K videos of your wife and your kids. I don't want this to get weird, but what I'm saying is enjoy Samsung's amazing image quality.
And if you're a person that's tired of Samsung's bloatware, then grab a Motorola. Striving to be your primary.
Striving to be your primary. Here's one thing. I'm gonna agree 80% with that bloatware comment, because apparently S6, they de-bloated the crap out of that phone.
Bro, I don't care what anybody says. I've seen like walkthroughs of those phones, like the S6, the Edge, and I can, maybe because I have the OnePlus and it's running Cyanogen, and there's like extremely minimal. I mean, there's things in there that I like, but bro, even just like the pull down menu, it's just like, yo, why is there so much crap on your pull down menu?
Well, come on.
No,
that's a Samsung.
That's
thing.
The first thing people do when they pick up an Android device. That's basically me saying to you,
no, it's
not. What?
The first thing. Okay. People don't. I'm gonna and we can ask our listeners. That's the question of the day. The question of the day, people, is what is the first thing you do when you pick up a phone? Because what I'm going to say is that the first thing people do when they pick up the phone is open the app tray. That's my thing.
I don't know. I know the first thing that I do when I pick up somebody's phone is
look at their notifications.
Bro, I don't know.
Don't lend him your phone, people. Don't lend him your phone. Oh, you got a message and it says don't let him. I don't know
why, but people do it to my phone too.
Well, they're weird. All of you guys are nosy.
Maybe it's just the people I hang out with.
Yeah, nosy people.
But I hang out with you, so what's that?
I never pull down your app, your notification thing.
If I buy
why? There's nothing for me in there.
when I get the X style, if I get the X style, I'm gonna hand it to you, and I'm gonna take a video of the first
Yeah, do it. Because no, seriously. Why? Tell me why you pull down.
I don't know.
Is there anything in there that you could possibly use?
Maybe it's habitual. Maybe it's habitual because
you think it's your device and you're always checking your notifications.
That's not why. You know what it is? Because back before, like any other device, like Android had like pull down notifications, and they were the first like manufacturer to have that. Okay. So that's for some reason like that was always cool to me. So that's the first thing I always did with any new Android device that I purchased or even with other people's.
This podcast, this radio stream is available on SoundCloud. It's available on YouTube. Yeah. And we want you to answer in the comments. Please let us know, what is the first thing you do, not only when you pick up an Android device, but even an iOS device. What is the first thing you do? Do you, out of these two things, answer and let us know. Do you pull down the notification tray or whatever it's called? Do you pull that down, or do you go into the apps? What is the first thing that you do out of those two things? Let us know now
or app draw
in the comments.
Where
and I know you guys are going to side with me because only crazy people go through people's notifications. Dang. That's weird. Shots.
Maybe
Bow.
I'm crazy.
So what's up? What else do we have to cover today?
Is that it? I don't know.
I want to do this new thing. I want to do a segment called Gotta Go.
All right.
We're going to pick 3 cell phones. And this segment, by the way, is going to be, it can be with anything. Well, every episode we do, maybe we go over software. Maybe we go over a new type of hardware, 3 video cards, something like that. But we pick 3 things. We discuss it a little bit. We go around, we go between us. If we had guests, we'd go around the room and play Gotta Go. So, but for today, in light of our conversations, I say we do Gotta Go with the S6, the OnePlus 2, and the Moto X Pure. Style. Which one? One of them is not in the U.S. Which one is it? I thought it was the Style that's not in the U.S.
Nah, Style's in the U.S.
So the Pure is the one that's not in the U.S.
There's 3 of them. It's the Style, the Pure, and another one. Forgive us, people, for being ignorant.
Yeah. I mean, it's a backup phone. Don't crucify us.
Striving to be your primary.
Motorola. Striving to be your primary. Now, Motorola, if you're hearing this FlyGeek Radio, and you want to send us a device that we can test out and, to get us to change how we feel about the devices that you guys produce, we would be happy with that. Send us 2 devices to play with for about a month. Let us test it out. And that goes for any manufacturer, because we're going to tell the truth when it comes to these devices, people. So, you can call us like your, I wouldn't say average consumer, but we can think from the position of an average consumer and a prosumer. And then we can think from our own perspectives, which is consumers on crack.
On cocaine.
Actually, I want to say prosumers on crack, because we are
even more so.
Yeah, we are up there, so we can think from any perspective. So Motorola, if you would love to be the sponsor of the day, please send us a device. We would love to test your device out. We would love to give an honest opinion about it. We know that the camera might not be up to par, but if you want to change our minds on that,
shots fired.
Please let us know. And hey, Apple, if you want to send us an iPhone as well,
don't lock it back. We're safe and lock it back.
But I know you guys don't know about us yet and these iPhones, but we'll save that for another time as well.
Yeah. That's where the hate starts.
But
we just lost 5 people just logged off right now out of 7.
Well, those 5 people didn't belong here anyway.
All right, so gotta go.
What? Give me which one has to go out of those 3 phones for you?
As far as go, you mean I don't want it, or go as in
it has to go. It has to be in trash.
All right, run back through the three. The S6,
OnePlus 2, and the latest Moto X.
That's rough, man. I'd have to say, out of those three, that's the hardest gotta go ever.
Hey, bro, it's a no-brainer for me. It's not hard at all. All-around phone. As a matter of fact, it is going to be opinionative because, you know, depending on the person, they may not use certain features that the OnePlus has or the Moto has or the S6 has. So other people might be like, it's a no-brainer. This one has you know what I'm saying? And the other person may not care about so they may be like, nah, this is what I'm riding with. But then you gotta be a smart guy. I mean, it's common sense and it's uncommon sense. Shout out to Charlamagne the God.
Stop it. All right, so I mean, OnePlus One's my daily driver right now, and I love it. You guys don't get it twisted. Despite their despicable customer service, I really love my OnePlus. I like the way it feels. I like the way it operates. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the OnePlus 2 has in store. I also love Motorola. I have an affinity for them. As far as like what they've been doing in the smartphone realm right now. I think they're extremely innovative. Samsung, I've rocked for a while. I know that they're right now on the top. Being the hipster, maybe Oreo, black on the outside, white on the inside, hipster guy that I am. I think I might say, for right now, the S6. Not because it's a bad phone. It's a really tough decision. It's a really tough decision.
Say that again.
And I'm not saying that because it's a bad phone. I'm not saying it has to go because it's a bad phone. But as far as if I had the three sitting on my desk right now, the first two that I'd pick up would be either the X or the OnePlus.
So which one are you rocking with? We gotta go.
The S6. It'd be either the X.
All right. Say that again. Because I don't know if you realize the name that's coming out of your mouth.
To be honest, bro. I mean, and we've been like not talking trash.
So you're telling me that you're gonna throw the S6 away?
In the way that you're phrasing this game is whack. Because none of those phones I would throw in the garbage.
You would. You have to. That's how the game is. That's how the game is. Gotta go. It's one of them has to go.
You have to like give me something like, yo, there's a feature that you throw in the garbage or something else. Nah. You gotta,
and that's what makes it so appealing.
Out of those three?
That's what makes it so appealing. So S6, that's what you're rocking with. S6 has to go out of those three.
Out of those three, if they were laying on a table, it's the Motorola or the OnePlus that I'm picking up. The S6 would not get love for a while until because I feel like there's everything that I'm expecting from a Samsung device. There's nothing that's gonna amaze me. Granted, and I'm not like a massive camera person or video person. I mean, I do like video stuff from time to time. I mess with the camera from time to time and like take pictures and stuff. Okay. But those two features aren't like deal breakers for me. What I want to see is innovation. Show me something that I haven't necessarily seen before. And I feel like, or something new. Like OnePlus is an amazing company as far as what they've been doing. Like, because they were the new kid on the block is one of the reasons why I got them. And just everything that they're doing. Like, one thing that I feel like is extremely innovative about their device is that whole rocker. Like, there's been a bunch of talk about that as far as like the notification rocker is concerned. Right. Like, so to be honest, that would be the first thing I want to pick up and mess with that. Motorola would probably be the second that I pick up, even though out of the two, Motorola and OnePlus, I'd definitely grab Motorola first, but I'd probably pick up the OnePlus just to mess with the rocker. Motorola, because it's just an amazing, like, it's a brand new device. Like, I'm going to test that camera to heck, because they've already been getting slack about it, and I want to see if it's good, even though I'm not a camera person. I want to see their improvement, what makes me excited, and what, like, what interests me about Motorola is how much they've improved over the years. So I have a firm belief that they're going to continue to improve as a smartphone company, and they're going to continue to innovate. Like, Samsung has always kind of been like top dog, and I've had Samsung devices, and I guess when you're a top dog, like, and I can't be like, yo,
you begin to get some hate. When you're really when you're on the top,
hate, and I'm not hate.
People scrutinize more,
and don't. People do scrutinize more.
And I think after the underdog.
I think that I'm being harder on Samsung, maybe because they're on top, maybe because they're the big boys, maybe because I had Samsung for so long. But I want something new. I want something fresh. I don't want to see.
You don't want to rock with the
TouchWiz bloatware. I'm still calling it TouchWiz. That's what they are.
Man,
I don't care if I see.
But we're not talking about the S5, dude. We're talking about the S6.
That
you can't compare that to what they've done in the past.
Well, maybe Samsung just need to send me a phone too.
Hey, Samsung, feel free to send us a phone, and I'm not gonna say me. I'm gonna say us. He's saying me because he wants to be greedy and only have the S6 to himself. But please send us 2 phones. We would love to test that out.
All this like advertisement, product placement. Like, hey, all the manufakers out there.
Just send us stuff. We would love to test it. I'll take a BlackBerry if you send it to me.
Listen to me, BlackBerry. Send me a phone. We'll give you a good review.
Yeah, maybe. You got maybe. We're gonna be fair. So if you choose not to send us your device, that's fine, because we are going to be fair if you send us that device. We will tell you we will use it. I would like to test the device for about a month. We will use it. But all right, so let's get back to Gotta Go. For me, I mean, it's a no-brainer, baby. That OnePlus 2 gotta go. I'm gonna go ahead and just run through what I'm feeling. I'm like, all right, as a device, that OnePlus 2 isn't a bad device. It's kind of like what you're saying about the S6. We're not saying gotta go because it's a bad device. But if I had to pick out of those 3, and that's how the game rocks, we gotta pick out of those 3. I'm taking that new Moto X. I'm taking that because I like shiny new things. But I need my wireless charging. That's been really good for me. And Note 4 doesn't even have wireless charging, but I've been using wireless charging with that because I bought a piece off Amazon. I could just toss in the back of the phone, and it creates it gives it the effect for wireless charging.
Yeah, that X doesn't have it either. They just got turbo.
They don't? No. Okay, well, see, that's another thing that I would love the Moto X.
Why the Motorola is still,
and that's a backup phone. That's right.
To be your
it's striving. Moto, please send us a phone. Send us a phone, and I don't want you to feel like we're asking for you to send it, because no, we have primary devices. We are okay. But we want to change the reputation of Motorola.
Striving to be your primary.
I mean, John wouldn't even use you guys as a backup. We're giving you guys the ability to be in our top 5. But you are barely there, and we want to make sure that you stick around. So give us features like what's the Moto X thing that they do where they only hear your voice? What's that called? Is it called something?
I know what you're talking about.
Well, just give us that feature. If you don't know, the Moto, the Moto X was the first Moto X, right?
Yeah.
The first Moto X, and I believe every Moto X after that has it, where you can say hello Moto or whatever it is, whatever the word is, to talk to the phone, and it only listens to you. Like, it's trained to only hear your version of it. I don't know how good it is. I don't know if people can talk very similar to your tone of voice and get it. But I think it works really fairly well.
It is very well.
90%?
It is extremely well. Like, I mean, I've had people pick up my Motorola X and try to mimic my voice and not get it until like maybe the 5th or 6th try.
Okay, so it is possible to do it.
And being in a room and then being across the other side of the room, I could just talk in normal voice. I don't even have to yell it and just say, okay, Moto, and that thing automatically picks up here and say, bloop, bloop, and then I can talk to it.
Perfect.
So it's amazing. And
what if you say, okay, Moto, and then they talk? Does it listen?
Yeah, it'll listen.
Okay, it just unlocks to your voice. Yeah, it just unlocks
to your voice.
Now, if they could get that, if they could work directly with Google, because Google has amazing clarity, like when it comes to picking up voice.
Yeah. Like I think that was the reason why they were so good, because when they dropped the first Moto X, they were with Google.
Okay. Well, those kind of features is why I'm gonna choose Moto over anything OnePlus puts out. Unless OnePlus puts out something that's so crazy that I'm just like, all right, I would never get it because I probably can't, but I will rock with it and I gotta go. But anyways, that one has to go. The S6, ridiculous. Take the time, people, to look up those specs yourself. But there's way too much from Samsung that is hard for me to turn down. I love and I love pure Google. I absolutely love pure Google.
Who doesn't?
And I think any Android purist would, is striving for pure Google on every device. But as far as I'm concerned, I could buy a Samsung device that has the aforementioned TouchWiz, but I can still have pure-ish Google to my eyes. Visually, I can have pure Google, but I still have the features that you can't find on a pure Google device. Using two apps at once. I know most people may not use a lot of the Samsung features, and most of the Samsung features may be gimmicky to you, but that's fine. At least you have the ability to use
gimmicks,
it.
Man.
You have the ability to use it, and that's what to me is amazing. So yeah, that's why my S6 has to be number one. I just want that Moto X so that I could show that the picture quality is not as great as anything else out there. And that OnePlus 2 gotta go. Get me something that I can actually buy, OnePlus. Get me something that I can buy. Okay? You're not gonna get to the level of being a primary device either unless people can actually buy you as a backup. Right now, we can't get you as a backup, so you can never be a primary.
Gosh, come on.
And I'm going to end on that note.
Well,
so this has been episode 1.
Episode 1, FlyGeeks.
FlyGeek Radio.
FlyGeek Radio.
And he's Jamaican, by the way. That's why he has S to everything.
FlyGeeks.
It's FlyGeek Radio, episode 1.
Rastafari.
I'm Charles Francis and
Matt Adams.
And we outie, baby. FlyGeek Radio.